Hi, I'm Katie, and this is episode 32 of Ornamentations, which will be quite grab bag. Today I have two finishes to share with you, one quite fabulously embellished and sparkly. You know how I love sparkle. I've got just a little bit of fall, looking forward to the holiday season, and also in that vein, I have a fabulous holiday reveal to share with you. We'll be looking at what is Theodora, the mystery project and box that I teased in the last episode. I know at least a few of you are curious about what's in here. And then I also have 3 giveaway winners today because, oh, I'm a big goof. I was supposed to announce the winner for the Bells of Christmas chart on the last episode and totally blew by it. So Kathy Kirkover, we will discuss this later when I announce all the giveaway winners, but I'm really sorry. You should have won this 2 weeks ago, but you know, I can't follow my own outline, so that didn't happen. So 3 giveaway winners, and that'll be at the end of the episode. First, we'll start today though with just a really quick update on the Elizabethan Valentine. The class is now completely sold out for the 2023 running, but I am thrilled to announce, because I know a few of you are bummed to have missed out on it, that this class will in fact run again, most likely sometime in 2024. It will depend on when I can get all the materials together for another running. If you would like to be notified of the next running of the class, please click the link in the description below and sign up with your email, and you will get notified when the class is announced again. I really don't have a date on that. It's going to depend on how long it takes for everything to be manufactured. The kits are a lot of work to put together. But let's move on to cross stitch, which is going to be the substance of this episode, and we will start with Plum Street Samplers My Early Days, which you've seen quite a lot of from me recently. I've been pretty monogamous with this pattern, and for those of you who called an October finish on this piece, congratulations, you had more faith in me than I had in myself. I thought I would get really bogged down in that house, and I am finished with the stitching, but not done. I have some pruning to do on one motif, but I wanted to leave it in until filming this episode to show you how I arrived at the place I did and why I made the changes I did. So, as we've discussed before, I really don't like stitching letters. I hate it. I don't carry my threads, so it just drives me nuts. All the start stop. So the verse was never going to be a part of my own stitch of My Early Days. Also, willfulness is definitely one of my faults, so this wasn't necessarily the most applicable verse for me personally. And I decided that what I wanted to do instead was mirror or flip the rose motif here to fill the space occupied by the verse. I don't actually mind a beautifully symmetrical sampler. I like it. It appeals to my sense of order. Love organizing and folding and just putting everything in its proper place. So yeah, mirrored sampler, we're cool. And that was what I decided to do myself. But I have also generally been leaving out a lot of the filler elements in My Early Days, which left me with a problem, and we'll take a look at that. This is where I am with My Early Days. As you can see, that is a finished house, and I am proud. And then the sampler is actually finished, except for the frogging that I have to do on this motif right here. So on this side, which I worked second, I arrived at a configuration of the motif which appealed to me. On this one, I made a lot of changes. So in the original, you can see there's a little butterfly, moth, some kind of winged insect right there in the top corner. And it looked a little disconnected from the flowers to me. So I decided to replace that instead with another bud. But then this started looking too full. I left out the little, what's that? Dog here, and then just carried the stem down, filled out with leaves, and it really looks choked and overgrown compared to the kind of airiness of the rest of the sampler and the negative space, which I like because it reveals the beauty of the ground linen. So I was thinking, so because this is really busy, it makes this look like a hole and not like intentional negative space. I was thinking maybe, I don't know, do you fill this out with more buds, with more leaves? I decided, thank God, to leave it and start working the mirrored motif and see if I couldn't come to conclusions while I was stitching the opposite side. So I was working on the opposite side, and then I started carrying this stem up as charted. It was running into the flowers here. This is not perfectly symmetrical. They're spaced a little differently. And I realized that that's what was making it look so cluttered. Also, way too many leaves here. So I arrived at a streamlined version of this motif. And because there's more empty space in and around it, it makes this look intentional and not like a hole. So I'm going to prune down this motif to match this one. And then this will be a complete finish. I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful. So hopefully the next time I show this to you, I will have finished it as a pillow FFO. Oh, look at those colors. Aren't they gorgeous? Just the way they interact with the ground linen, I think, is gorgeous. And then a couple notes on the conversion. Because I ended up leaving out some of the filler motifs, the other blues appear mostly in the Ohio Star filler. And then a second blue is here in the basket. I thought that carrying the same bright blue over made the design and colors more coherent. So I just used one blue on this entire piece. So the conversion I have been posting so far is actually incorrect in terms of how I've stitched it. So I'll post it again, but with asterisks on the colors that I did not use. So that's my early days. I'm really thrilled with it. And then what I'm going to do is make a very flat, well-stuffed pillow out of this so it can stand up on my bookcases. I think that's gonna look great. And then I'm going to do a beaded looped edging with this, oh, fabulous, super sparkly gemstone beads I bought a ton. So hopefully I will have a fabulously embellished finish of my early days to show you before much longer. And I did want to correct a flub that I made on my previous episode. So I talked about the importance of the needle, and I said that I used a number 10 tapestry point beading needle with surfine. That's incorrect. I use a 12 with surfine on 45 count and higher, but I do like lower coverage and I tend to use thinner threads than some other people would use. And one note, because I get this question all the time about the crispness of my stitching. It's very sharp and defined stitches. That's a combination of three things that all work together, and to get the look you need all three things. And that's using the right thread for the count of linen that you're using, and then using the right needle. So pairing count, thread, and needle essentially is a great deal of the substance of this specialty thread tutorial part 1, which I'll link in the description if you haven't seen it and you're curious. That's a great resource. So that's my early days, and I am just thrilled with how this came out. I absolutely love the colors. Move my beads and give you one last look at these gorgeous threads, although disclaimer, didn't use those two blues. This would be what you were using if you were doing the chart as charted. But you know me, I always have to mess with things I just can't do as I'm told, which is another reason why the verse really just didn't apply to me. I don't do what I'm told. I am spectacularly willful. And then the other finish I had, it was actually a previous finish, now newly embellished, and that's a Bittersweet Broomsticks. I showed you this without the trim on the last episode, and this is it with the bonkers trim. This is a 4mm round of my beaded spiral rope stitch. The color is Crystal Golden Shadow, and I'll be putting beads in the description as well as a link to the tutorial. This is nuts. This thing is so sparkly. It could light up the night. It's totally crazy. I think maybe a little too crazy. Like if you layered it with other things, then that would tone it down a little bit. Just hanging out by itself, it's nuts. It's completely bonkers. I mean, I love it, but I think I might have gone a little too far this time. So this is some serious trim, and it's not for the faint of heart, let me tell you. But, you know, stitching should be fun. And if sometimes you go a little overboard and overdose on the sparkle, well, there are worse things in life, right? So that's Bittersweet Broomsticks with, ooh, monster trim. I do love the colors. So I've bought this color in 3mm bicone beads to use with other finishes on Irish coffee. So we'll be seeing a permutation of this that's less like blinding. Cover your face, might not dazzle, in future episodes. This might be fun for Christmas. I'm definitely going to be doing some Christmas stitching on Irish coffee. And then haul. Don't actually have any stitching haul, but as I'm sure this has happened with all of you, I've been getting more and more emails about holiday, this, that, and the other. And oh, like a good little consumer, I responded immediately when Rifle Paper Company, if you've watched my previous Christmas episodes, you know how I feel about Rifle Paper Company, announced the launch of their new holiday collection, and one of which was this fabulous tray featuring their nutcracker pattern. So I actually want to use this as a tray, because if you used it as a tray, you'd be obscuring all the nutcracker stuff. So what I was thinking was might prop it up on the shelf with some little decorations and pillows in front of it, and just have it be more like a feature, like a frame hanging. I'm sure there's some word I can't think of. I am a huge sucker for the nutcracker. I don't know if I've told you this story before. If I have, please forgive me. But the nutcracker has a really special place in my heart, because my mom and I would go and see it every year when I was a little girl, and it was always a very special occasion thing. We'd have a nice lunch together beforehand. She would make me something very special to wear. One year I had a velvet dress, another I had this like fancy headband with a bow. One year she made me a dress cape. Oh, I loved that thing. I wanted to wear it to school. Yeah. So that was always just a really special memory when my mom and I would get all dressed up together and go and see the nutcracker, which I think is part of my residual fondness for it as an adult. Also, who doesn't love the nutcracker suite? But so when I saw this, I could not resist. And then I also bought an ornament. It's the same pattern, but on a ceramic ball. Oh, fabulous. So if you saw my Christmas episodes, you'll know that I made felt versions of many of these same characters, but you cannot have too much nutcracker on your tree if you ask me. So more nutcracker, and I'm thrilled. I love Rifle. I'm actually really opposed to holiday too early. I mean, give fall its due. It's not even Halloween. But you know, dangle nutcracker and Rifle paper in front of me, and I just apparently cannot resist. Also, I'm not really one to talk, because the holiday shop for Ornamentations will be launching on November 1st at 8:15 a.m. Pacific time, which is a little early by my lights, but I think with stitching, it's justified. That means that you have everything in hand ready to stitch when you're ready for holiday seasonal stitching. If you are still on fall through the end of November, that's awesome. I love fall, great colors, but you have what you need when you want to stitch it. So with that and gearing up for holiday, let's look briefly at what we'll be launching on November 1st. I will be coming to you next Tuesday for a special episode to kick off the launch of all 3 kits. But just to recap, there will be 2 cross-stitch kits. Both finishes have been shown previously. They're both Point de Travail patterns, and they are Joy and Good Cheer and Bells of Christmas. And then these are the finishes. So we've got Joy and Good Cheer, which, as I've mentioned, I've stitched without the letters, but everything in your kit is there if you would like to stitch the letters. You don't have to share my pathological hatred for stitching letters. You know, that's just a weird me thing. It doesn't have to be an other people thing. And then, as I showed you last time, my finish for Bells of Christmas, which I deeply love. The kits do include the ribbon, all thread and linen, to make 2 bells. And those are the bells. They've got hangers. Or at least they've got hangers as I finish them. You could also just do them with just a bow, no hanger, and then stand them up in a display as I have attempted to do here. On next week's episode, I will also be sharing a free conversion for the Scarlet Houses pattern, Be Merry and Bright, which I have finished as a tiny and deeply silly Christmas ornament to hang on the tree. That's my little gift to you to kick off the holiday stitching season. And I'm very excited to show that to you. I've finished the stitching, but it's sitting right over there waiting to be finished until I can actually do the final finishing on that. But it'll be ready for next week. I'll be showing that to you then, and also sharing the conversion, which is quite simple. There are only a few threads. So if you want to just dip your toe into ridiculous holiday stitching, that would be a good way to do it. And then the last kit is the Mysterious Theodora, and I can actually feel my seasonal allergies acting up, so just pause 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, we now return to our regularly scheduled programming. Sorry, I feel an absolutely monster sneeze coming on, you know, right at the moment of the big reveal. So inconvenient. So where was I? I believe I was at Theodora. So last time I showed you this box, fabulous box for Theodora 2022 holiday ornament, and today I will be showing you Theodora. Some of you may have guessed what this is. Again, if you've watched my Christmas episodes, you might have guessed, but I am very excited to show you Theodora. So Theodora is an angel ornament in my usual style with the crazy, crazy sequin wings. Yes, I will be teaching you how to do that in a beautiful lapis lazuli blue, embellished with stars, and then she's got this great band of embellished and layered sequins. So the wonderful thing about this, it made for an absolutely monster kitting job, but the results are just beautiful and really, really easy to do. This pattern is just built up by stitching sequins and beads on top of each other. So you get this pattern on her dress that looks a lot more complicated than it is. It's actually wonderfully, wonderfully easy. Anyone who can hold a needle can make Theodora. And it all relies on just letting the materials do the work for you. And then, of course, she has those ridiculous sequin wings. These are called an iris iridescent sequin. So that means that they kick off different things depending on what they're reflecting in the light. So the true color of the sequin is what you're seeing there. It's almost a yellowy, off-white, creamy color. But once it starts reflecting objects, so there it's seeing the camera, it'll kick off about 1,000,001 colors. Most of the time on the tree, this is about what you're going to see right here. So we'll be going into all the details of Theodora as well as the other kits on the holiday kickoff episode, but just a few quick details about her. So it comes in this fabulous box, which I designed and had made for the ornament, and the box, and we'll be taking a look inside the kit and seeing all the contents. Next week includes everything that you need to make this, all the different felts. There is a silk pack, so 103 in surfine and the necessary colors to stitch this, full templates, a chalk pencil to transfer designs. If you've ever worked with felt, you know that getting a line on felt is not the easiest thing. You have to be using the right kind of drawing instrument, and that's what's in your kit. All of the different sequins here, all-inclusive kit. Only thing that you need to provide is the glue. Theodora also comes with truly exhaustive instructions, because that's really the only way I know how to do it. I cannot do things halfway, which sometimes is great and sometimes is more than a little nutty. So, necessary disclaimer, I am showing you hard copy instructions here. Theodora does not come with hard copy instructions. You will get a downloadable PDF version of these, which you can either view on your laptop, your tablet, or you can have printed as I've done here, but it doesn't come with printed instructions. It would explode the cost of the kit. The reason I have these is that my mother already bought 4 angel kits to give to her friends as holiday gifts. And because they were being handed out as gifts, and she's my mother, I had the instructions printed and bound for her so that for easier gift giving. And the instructions are full color with exhaustive detail and a ton of photos covering, I think it's about 24 pages and 42 photos. This is not a 24-page difficulty ornament, but brevity is not my strong point. So I over-explain everything, probably to the point of being ridiculous, but 2 people have proofread these for me and told me that they might be exhaustive, but it also means that anyone can do the project, and that also they think it's doesn't require any kind of special skill level to do this, which I would agree with. When I was designing this, what I always kept in mind was how to make this easy to do. And that's why it ended up the way that it did, with the sequined bands as the embellishment on our fabulous little angel here. But I'll be talking a little bit more about the design, inspiration, and execution of Theodora on next week's episode, and then we will also be taking a look inside the kit and everything that's in here. You do have quite a lot. This was a monster kitting endeavor. There may not ever be another angel ornament, so if this is something that interests you, this is your chance. This was, absolute beast to kit, and I absolutely love the results, but I'm not committing to ever doing this again, basically. So that's Theodora. This is our fabulous kit box, and then I will be explaining everything in more detail on all 3 projects on my holiday kickoff episode next week, November 1st. And then, as previously stated, all 3 kits, Bells, Joy and Good Cheer, and Theodora, will go on sale at 8:15 a.m. Pacific time on November 1st on my website, linked in the description below, and a notification will also go out to the Ornamentations mailing list if you're interested and you're not already on it. So those are the holiday kits, which I'm really excited about. I had a lot of fun doing all of these, and I can't wait to do my own decorating this year, especially to hang the bells on my tree with their ridiculous blue bows. That's just going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you're looking forward to holiday stitching. Whether you're interested in the kits or not, it's something that I really enjoy, and I'm really looking forward to sharing with you as we move into holiday stitching. I'm not quite there yet, although I will then also be sharing my finish for Merry and Bright on next week's episode, as well as providing the conversion. I went for some very different, very day glow colors. It's ridiculous, but it's also so much fun. I enjoy it hugely, and I hope you will as well. It's going to be a fun piece that I can't wait to hang on my tree. Also, I think it's going to coordinate with the Adora pretty well. So with that, let's get to giveaway winners. There are 3. So the first, which should have been announced on the last Flosstube, but wasn't, my apologies, is the chart for Bells of Christmas, one of 3 upcoming holiday kits, and the winner for that is Kathy Kirkover. I have commented on your comment. Please send me your mailing address and I will get this out to you stat. And then the winner of the Allison Cole Goldwork Masterclass book, Keyword Master, is, I'm gonna absolutely mangle this, I do not speak false, Sean Parrington. And then I redrew for the Stumpwork book, since I never heard from the original winner, and the new winner for that is Naomi Ingram of Huckleberry Stitches. All 3 winners, I have commented on your comments. Please get back to me with your, sorry, I'm dropping things, with your mailing addresses, and I will send those out to you stat. Also, the winner of the Jersey Girl Stitcher Harvest Pins, Jacqueline Liebfried, please get back to me. You have until the morning of November 6th. If I don't hear from you before then, I will redraw and we'll have a new winner for these, but hopefully you'll claim your fabulous prize. So for next time, I will be back with you in 1 week on November 1st. For a special episode with all of the details on the various holiday kits. We'll be looking inside the kit for Theodora and having an unboxing, which I'm excited about because there is so much stuff in here. Oh my gosh. And then I will be also sharing my fabulous little finish for Merry and Bright as a little celebratory gift to kick off the holiday shop for Ornamentations. And then after that, I will be back on my regular filming schedule, so in 2 weeks, to celebrate 1 year of the Simple Harmony Stitch Along. I can't believe we've reached it already, but we have. I'll be bringing the box back from Needle on a Haystack for that, so if you're in the Bay Area, would like to see the box and haven't yet done so, time's getting pretty short. I'll be out there the first week of November to bring it back. And then I will also hopefully be showing you in 2 weeks an FFO on my early days, finished as a pillow, and then fully embellished with these super fabulous, super sparkly gemstone beads using my beaded looped edging finish, which was inspired by the wonderful joy of its finely finished. Just necessary disclaimer, I didn't come up with that technique. I've just had a lot of fun with it, and I can't wait to use it on my early days because I think this peachy gemstone is just going to pick up the undertones in Sicilian Marzipan perfectly. Oh, look at the crispness of those colors on that linen. I know I'm supposed to be signing off here, but I really just can't get over that. So I'm very excited to have a finish with that on that and share it with you. I will see you again in 1 week. Giveaway winners, please get back to me with your mailing list. Sorry, with your mailing address. I can't keep my words straight. This is not a good sign. And then I will see you again in 1 week for the kickoff of the holiday kits. Until then, Happy stitching.